Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody in between. Tonight, I bring you something special. The insane ramblings of two men who may or may not have huffed glue. Now, allow me to take a moment to do a bit of a fact check. Devil's advocate, a term originating from the Catholic Church. The bishops and the cardinals would debate for and against the canonization of somebody as a saint. One cardinal would be designated to argue exclusively against sainthood, who would carry the title of devil's advocate. Now that you know the definition of devil's advocate, I've given you a bit of information about the history. Now we're going to hear about the opinions of two men who are likely huffing glue. I can neither confirm nor deny this, but listen to it in full. I think they did. Enjoy.
And we're off, Rob.
Oh, shit.
And we're off.
Okay.
What's our topic?
So I thought, because clearly we both think that we're much smarter than we really are.
Oh, boy. Okay.
That, otherwise why else would we be doing this at all?
Oh, boy.
And in that same breath, and it's probably been heavily implied at this point, and I think it's an interesting topic anyway, but I think I don't know if this is a disclaimer, but I think it's important to talk about the concept of the devil's advocate and how that functions,
Like, the theory of why the devil's advocate exists, or, like, what do you mean the concept of the devil's advocate? What parts of that?
Well, both because I think that's all we do here, but also just how
with all conversations
started.
we have with each other?
Yeah, it's just there's really no time we're not doing that. But also, like, you actually have to believe at all something to completely argue something you don't agree with.
I have to agree with you 100%. Because that's all I do. Is argue against people, even if I don't agree with the
argument.
I'm arguing. Yeah,
but like I feel like
it's part of my essence. It's my very being, Grout.
I want to say that some people are going to be like, well, you have to somewhat believe in the thing if you're going to argue it. I don't think that's true. I think that if you just want to argue something for the sake of arguing, I think it's important. Because I think that everything should be argued.
Yes. Otherwise, we don't advance as a society.
Yeah, contrary belief is important. Whether it's sensical or not.
Argumentation has to exist. I will agree with you 100%.
You hate this. I presented the one topic that you can't be the devil's advocate in. But I also, like...
Well, I can find ways to be the devil. Don't you worry. Because I can start to argue that you at least somewhat have to believe, at least partially, something you're arguing.
That is a slippery slope.
If you generalize a topic enough, you can find something that you agree with. That's how the far right actually get people on their side. Is they start with a very general topic, and then they get you to agree with a statement, and then they slowly get you to agree with more and more things.
Well, that's probably how either end of the spectrum works.
Yeah, I mean cults in general, but I had the far right on the mind.
Because at the same time, like, everybody deserves to be happy.
Yeah, you start with that statement.
Yeah, right?
And then you twist it.
Yeah.
Do people deserve to be happy at other people's expenses? Right. Do you agree with that statement? Some people might, some people don't, but everyone, most sane people agree that everyone deserves to be happy.
It's at what cost? Sometimes literally.
Does everyone deserve... I don't even know if I agree with this statement, everyone deserves to be happy.
Well,
there's no joy without pain. There's no sunshine without rain, Rob.
Oh my god, he's quoting songs here. That is a song, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That was my first thought. And it was...
Because you need... sorrow needs to exist. So if everyone, and then there's deserves, right? Like, are there people like do people deserve to be happy, or do you earn the happiness that you receive? You know?
Well, this is just getting into happiness, and I don't think that's. I think I loosely brought this up before, but happiness is not a solid thing, right?
Right.
It's different to everybody.
Sure.
So I don't think everybody can find happiness because nobody agrees on what the fuck it is. So you can't say everybody deserves happiness if your perception of happiness is everybody deserves money.
Well, what has happened? Why do you think my perception is that happiness is money, Rob?
I was being general.
Oh, yeah, okay. Right. Sure, right.
No, you're happy.
No, but I'm not happy, but I'm not unhappy because I'm poor. I'm unhappy for a plethora of reasons, I'll have you know.
Are you poor because you're unhappy?
Yes. Yes, I am poor because I was unhappy at my job. My very good paying, but really shitty job. I was unhappy there. So I left it to go work shittier jobs where I was slightly happier. So yes, I do think my unhappiness did lead to my poverty.
Alright, so...
And thus an example of the devil's advocate.
That was kind of full circle in a way. I don't know. I think that it's important to poke holes in things. I think that's most of what we do here. Even if the thing we're arguing is sandwiches versus raviolis.
What? You said the same thing there.
But we're not doing. I will.
We're not doing that.
Okay. How dare you? How dare you? No.
Okay. Right. Sandwich. Right. Thank you.
Oh my god, sandwich.
It's the same thing.
The people's dumpling.
Sounds like a terrible political party.
The people's dumpling?
Yeah, or something. Or like a figurehead or something.
I kind of love it, though.
So we're starting our own political party.
Naming it the people's dumpling?
The people's dumpling.
Because all peoples have a dumpling.
Which is a sandwich. So I won't go there. But
so the people's dumpling.
Everyone deserves a dumpling.
Everybody deserves a dumpling. Everybody has a dumpling. The more I say dumpling, the less it sounds like a word that exists.
Why does everyone has a dumpling? What kind of catchphrase is that? What do you mean everyone has a dumpling?
Catchphrase? Well, no, that's a thing.
Where's my dumpling, Rob?
Well, you're German. No, the pierogies are Polish.
Yeah.
Is there a German dumpling?
Probably.
You don't know?
No.
Because ravioli is Italian dumpling.
Yeah.
Pierogies Polish dumpling.
What's a British dumpling?
I was trying to think of that too, but I didn't mention it because I didn't want to immediately poke holes in my own argument here.
Yeah. An American dumpling is a deep fried Oreo.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, it has to be.
Right?
That is the embodiment
of America.
Of America in dumpling form. Is deep fried Oreo.
Yeah. I didn't say it was a good or bad thing. I'm not making a judgment call. I'm just presenting some information that I believe to be true.
We made a very important finding here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We figured out what America's dumpling is. Is a Mexican dumpling a burrito? No, that doesn't sound right.
No, that feels wrong. An empanada, maybe?
That sounds closer.
Yeah, like a Jamaican beef patty.
Is a Jamaican dumpling,
right?
Yeah.
They probably have something closer to a dumpling, but
that's the first thing that comes to mind.
Right. Well, because we're Americans, we're not Jamaican.
Well, yeah.
If we knew,
we don't have enough perspective to know if there's something closer.
There very well could be, but
yeah.
you know.
So is it region? Is there? There's got. I wonder if there's. I wonder what a Russian dumpling is.
A pierogi, because they also own Poland for a lot of their life, so they also own the pierogi.
I feel like owned is it's rough.
Yeah. So actually, for the same argument, the Germans also had pierogies. Because
I'm surprised that wasn't where you went immediately when I said, "What's the German dumpling?"
yeah.
I wanted to say it was pierogies, but I didn't want to say the thing you just said.
Oh, why not? Yeah, Germany and Russia, they can share the pierogi. Not Poland, though. That doesn't exist.
Yikes.
Okay. Yeah. Alienating people already.
Well, no, it's we started off stating we were talking about about the devil's advocate. Is the devil's advocacy? Is there? I wonder where the term came from.
Probably the Bible.
Do you think it's in the Bible, or do you think that's just somebody was like arguing a topic and he looked around the room? And, I don't know why I said he. It was probably an old enough term where that's how that went. And they looked around the room and they realized nobody was happy about it, and he's just like, what's something that people hate? And I am just trying to be contrary. Devils. I'm just trying to advocate for the devil. I'm just trying to say something you don't agree with to prove a point. But they really believed it.
Because you at least partially believe what you're arguing when you're a devil's advocate. Wow. Huh. We get back to it.
No, but I don't think you need to. But
no, me either. But I had to argue it because it's devil's advocate, Rob. No, but so I think of...
I bet other cultures have a different term for it besides just contrarian or something.
Probably.
It's got to be an old... I bet the Greeks have a great word for it.
They have
great terms for all sorts of things.
Yeah,
they used to love debating shit.
Yeah, it was like Socrates and then this other guy, the devil's advocate, but their version.
Yeah, thousands of years prior.
Yeah. Yeah, well, no, but yeah.
Well, yeah, no, right?
Yeah, but...
Well, there was because Rome was after...
Yes.
At least 1,000 years after, peak Greece, right?
Yes.
So I wasn't wrong with my time frame, Mr. Wannabe history buff.
I have a degree, thank you very much. What good it's doing me, I couldn't tell you, but I took enough credits in my college to be a history nerd for real. I have a piece of paper to prove it.
2, I think.
No, that's education. That doesn't count. I'm not using that either. Screw that, dude. God, that sucks. Spent a lot of money for nothing. Huh? That's great. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Enough about me. Devil's advocacy. That's what we're talking about. Woo-wee. That was something. Okay. Yes, I'm sure the Greeks had a cool term for it. Or
They might have just also... I feel like they were angrier than it sounds like. They were debating base philosophy before most people thought to do so.
Well, yeah.
So if they were just yelling
all right
concepts at each other, I wonder if some of them just believed it and then they found out later.
So we stole devil's advocacy from some concept that the Greeks came up with because all they were good about was thinking about shit.
I mean, maybe that's our running theory right now. Yeah.
Well, what are the ancient Greeks remembered for?
Arguing shit.
They're weird gods, and then thinking about shit and arguing about shit.
Yeah, and olive oil.
Which I mean, yeah, but I feel like that was popularized by Rome, though. I could be wrong. I could be pulling that one out of my ass, but I feel like it was because you think of that. What's that? That famous sauce that they used to put on all their shit. It was made of olive oil and like fermented like fish, and it was like it was like a.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, it was a sauce. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a sauce. And the Romans they put fish in a barrel and covered it with olive oil and salt, and the fish fermented, and then it became this sauce that was like, it tasted almost like basically just, the ocean. It was just like salty and fishy and weird. But they would put it like on everything. Like it was their.
That is an accident.
It was like their
that
butter.
they made that accidentally killed somebody once or twice, and they're like, "Oh, let's leave that cursed jar alone a little longer." Cracked it back open, tried it again, and they're like, "Oh, that's not so bad."
Yeah, it just tasted like salty fish, but they poured it on all their stuff. They because there's accounts.
It's got to still be a thing.
No one makes it anymore.
What?
Yeah, no one makes it anymore. It was like because our modern palates think it tastes terrible. So it's not a thing.
How do you know this exists? I've never heard of this.
Because I've watched YouTube videos of people who make ancient recipes of things, and like they find the oldest recorded recipes of things and they make them.
What
it was
is
called like something started with an L, I think, but I can't remember.
I don't know. I feel like, because I thought that olive oil was originally a Greek thing, more so than
Probably.
Because it was one of those.
Yeah, one of them.
No, hold on.
Yeah, two of them.
Is it
3 of them?
the Odyssey? When Odysseus is gone, I think there are parts of it that talk about his wife. I thought they had like an olive. They talked about them using olives. I thought.
Probably.
Like harvesting and.
Bro, it's been over 10 years since I read this book. I have
probably
no
been close
idea.
to that for me. I thought that it was a thing. I don't know.
It very well could be. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I have no reference point of it.
Greeks, olives, olive oil, debating shit.
Romans turned it into a weird fish sauce.
Yep.
Back to debating shit.
Debating shit.
Any word. Give me a word. Any word. I could tell you how the root of that is a Greek word.
Any word?
Any word.
YOLO. It's in the dictionary now.
It was just my Big Fat Greek Wedding reference, Rob. Watch a movie sometime. God. Some people these days don't even know what a classic film is.
My soul.
Came out like early 2000s. It's
I think it was
technically
like
a classic.
early 2000s. I remember my parents watched it a bunch.
Yeah, my mom loves that movie. We watch it very often. But
Still?
It's at least 20 years old. Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie. Like from the time I was an age and remembered things, I don't think I've seen that movie.
I watched it. My mom and I watched it this year.
I've seen clips. I know the Windex.
Well, yeah. It cures everything. No, we watched it this year after her surgery when I was hanging out with her. It was like the first thing we watched after we brought her home from surgery.
Do you guys have it on DVD?
Yeah.
You guys found it on DVD and have a DVD player?
Well, no, we have it on DVD. We didn't find it on DVD. We found it on a flash drive that we plugged into our television. Because our television can read USB flash drives.
Future. So you pirated My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
I don't know. It's my dad's. He...
No, okay. I'm not trying to call you out here.
No. You cannot blame the son for the sins of the father. Which is why, Rob, you got a free pass at most things in life.
Yeah. I don't know how many people are going to view it that way. Pops is going to pass away. His funeral's going to happen. There are going to be people showing up looking for blood, and he's not going to be there anymore. It's going to be me.
What's the worst they can do? Okay, yeah, no. Yeah, you're right. So, yeah, Greeks. My Big Fat Greek Wedding is a great movie. And you should definitely watch it sometime this year.
This, calendar year or year from the day?
I don't care.
Okay.
Whatever's easier for you. Year from the day is easier, so go with that one.
I'm probably going to go with that one.
Yeah,
if I remember long enough.
Yeah, you won't. But neither will I, so...
Okay. No, then we made it clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on. Come on. Greeks. Thinking about shit. They had a term for devil's advocacy.
This episode brought to you by Windex. We found a way to work it in somehow.
You know, I have this weird rash on my hand, and I sprayed some Windex on it, and it cleared it all up. Thank you, Windex. Appreciate you.
Now you can punch birds and they'll never see it coming.
That took me way too long.
That's because it was a bad joke.
Yeah, no. Not only was it bad, but it was too much of a thinker. That tanked.
You know, because jokes are better when you explain them. All the old Windex commercials, if you didn't know, had them spraying windows and birds flying into them.
Yeah.
So if you spray Windex on your fist, the birds won't see it coming.
Yeah, I get it now. I pieced it, but it just... Yeah, it wasn't good. So I'm gonna continue to not laugh, is the thing, and just let it sit there. But thank you for your contribution, Rob.
I try my best. I hope that's not.
So it was like what, Hades' lawyer or something? Like, was that their version of it?
If we're giving the Greeks the original devil's advocacy, do you think we're thinking it might have been Hades' lawyer?
Yeah, is there a myth out there where Hades needed to hire a really good human lawyer?
So I know most, like, because Hades was also what, god of like money, right?
I don't know.
I think he was dead, money, underworld ruler. I think he had
a cute
law.
dog.
He might have had law. Sometimes cute, not always cute.
Always cute.
Yeah.
3 heads more to love.
Bitey.
Not if you feed them. Treat them with care. You know?
You're just saying this because you got to pet Coco.
Yeah. Dogs learn bad behavior. They're taught it. They're not naturally bad. Hades was a terrible dog owner. That's what we're learning today.
Hades was a great dog owner? He did his job to perfection.
Did he?
Nah, people got in and out kind of frequently.
Yeah.
So maybe he was a good dog owner.
But did they get away? Because think of that dude who turned back. Like, he was home free, but then he turned back.
The one who pushes the boulder all the time?
No, the one who was going after his wife. The dude, the Greek dude, he's going down, his wife dies, and he's going down there to save his wife. But he hears some mythical advice that, like, once he brings her back, he can't turn around, because if he turns around and sees her, then she gets sucked back down or whatever.
I have heard this one.
Yeah, but he's an idiot and he turns around to see her, like, right when they're at the end, and then...
You know, the issue with really having no idea what we're going to talk about is we have no way of knowing what we're talking. Like, we could have had words for this.
Yeah, we did. A Greek guy's
wife getting out of Hades.
Who was also the person.
There's also, yeah.
But also the place.
Yeah.
Which...
They got kind of lazy about that.
Yeah, like, you know, like Zeus, you know, like, Olympus isn't Zeus.
No, it's not Zeus Mountain.
Right. It's Olympus, you know? But no, Hades. Come on.
Actually, you know what? Maybe they just were really rough to the guy. Well, it's also the underworld, didn't they call it that? Or is that just more we've given it that title because calling Hades and Hades the same thing was a little redundant?
It is definitely redundant. I don't know if that is a later thing, but I couldn't tell you.
They might have also just, you know, really disrespected him and taken away his actual name. And they're like, so you don't even get a name anymore. You're just called the place where you live.
That's rude.
Which you got stuck in.
Yeah, you know, justice for Hades.
Justice for Hades.
You know, it's a real rough go of things. He may not be the best guy. He may not have done all the right things, but...
I mean, if we were
he definitely kidnapped a girl, but we're ignoring that because they got married. So is that okay?
Okay,
but we can't look at Greek myths with our current eyes and give like a
moral compass to them.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean...
I'm sure it was wrong then, too. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a story. But I feel like it's more wrong now.
It could be more wrong now. I'm also going to bring up the fact that most Greek gods were pretty awful.
Yeah.
I would probably argue Zeus, who is king of them...
Yeah, he was the worst.
Kind of the worst.
Yeah, feared and loved, but not loved. He loved you.
He loved you.
Yeah.
No matter what form he was in.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Zeus
was the first furry.
Yes!
We did it.
We did it. Yep.
Zeus was the first furry.
That's scary.
Or
we came to that conclusion at the same time.
Yeah.
I looked into your eyes. There was a spark. We both knew.
Yeah.
Zeus was the first furry.
I mean, what other conclusions can you make from that, you know? So we think it's a modern phenomena, you know? But no.
At least back to ancient Greece.
Yeah. And that's just one account. I mean, and if it's in one of their major
several
stories,
of their major stories.
Well, no, I know, but like if it was such a big deal back then, right? You know, like people get weird about it nowadays because of one movie or a different movie, depending on how old you are. But like, it's either Disney's Robin Hood or it's Zootopia. Like, which a lot of people say, but like, you know.
But if you go further back.
You go further back, they had that many stories. How many people are enjoying that?
I kind of think Greek myths were more like fables to teach lessons. I don't know if it was...
What's the lesson in this one? Oh, don't get fucked by a bull? What a lesson. Yeah, that's a great story.
Stay away from the bull when it's feeling horny. I don't know, man.
That's a great lesson. I really learned a lot from that one.
The whole time I was trying to think of other times he was animals. I kept just thinking of the swan one.
Oh.
I forgot the bull one.
Yeah, the whole reason the Minotaur exists. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which that must have sucked. For her? I don't remember her name.
Let's not.
That must have sucked.
Probably.
Like, I feel bad.
I mean,
not that I didn't feel bad before, but but you know, like that.
You just never thought about it this much.
I never thought about pushing out a Minotaur. No. No, I didn't.
That's not even the part of this I thought you were referring to.
Oh, what you thought I was referring to?
I thought you meant the initial act, not the second one.
The consequence.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're both bad.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, I've at least, you know, I've realized how bad the first one was.
Well, they don't have horns right away.
That's true. That's true.
And I also heard this horrifying fact recently about horse hooves.
What? I'm so concerned.
Oh, look on her face. So apparently, you know, horses are born whole, and because they have to immediately be in survival instinct, they need their hooves right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't really... That's not safe to push out with hooves.
Oh.
So they have, apparently, this horrifying casing that is over the hooves that falls off shortly after birth.
Protect the mom?
To protect the mom.
Huh.
That is like some sort of weird cabbage lettuce fingers sort of looking thing that is just over the hooves.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I recently, it was actually TK told me about this. And apparently she heard about it and looked it up and didn't realize what it was at first. And then kind of like when you look at something, you're like, oh, okay. And then you're like, oh, it was kind of like one of those. Mm-hmm. Like, And apparently it was really not... I didn't look it up. She told me not to. She said it was so horrifying, don't look it up.
Oh, it can't be that bad. It can't be that bad.
I'll let you do it, and
I will.
you can let me know about that later.
I have no problem doing that.
You'll probably just be like, hey, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm going to argue it was great. Look it up, Rob. And then I'll be like, ah!
I would do that. Yeah, you got me. Hit the nail on the head there, bud. But it's only because I love you that I want you to suffer.
Friendship is Stockholm Syndrome. No.
It goes both ways.
Most old parenting styles are Stockholm Syndrome. Noted.
Yeah. You ain't wrong about that one.
Wait a minute. So is like traditional parenting styles, like the whole thing is just devil's advocacy?
I did not follow your line of thinking on that one. You're going to have to...
All right, okay.
More.
Yep, nope, got it. So you're doing that out of love.
I'm making you
You suffer out of love, yes.
It was a joke, but yeah.
No,
I mean,
I'm just playing with the words we have presented. Okay.
Kind of a joke. Sorry.
So corporal punishment
Oh, boy.
is to teach you not to do those things out of love.
Corporal punishment
Yep.
is to teach you not to do bad things
Yep.
out of love.
Yep.
Huh.
So, in a way, parents are using things that they don't want you to do to teach you not to do other things. The parent doesn't want to get hit back. But they want you to know you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, but like... Yeah, but you can't hit kids anymore.
Kids definitely still get hit.
Yeah, but you can't, you can't hit kids anymore.
I mean, public.
Rob, you can't hit kids anymore.
I mean, can't leave them. That
Rob.
was so. Yeah.
Rob, you can't hit kids anymore.
I don't. Whoa, hold on. I don't hit kids now.
Rob, you need to stop hitting kids. Rob, you can't keep hitting kids, Rob.
I don't hit kids.
God.
I don't hit kids.
Rob, you can't hit kids anymore.
I don't hit kids.
That's what that transitioned into. God, Rob.
I don't hit kids.
Anymore?
I don't.
Yeah, I don't have to answer that one, do you? Corporal punishment. Yeah, I could see that. Corporal punishment is a physical embodiment of devil's advocate. No, because no, I don't think so.
Okay, hold on. So, is devil's advocacy, I can speak English, to teach a lesson, or is it to be contrary?
It's to be contrary.
But we were arguing earlier, it's sometimes necessary to prove a point, therefore to teach a lesson.
I guess it depends on the scope of the topic. Because, pineapples on pizza, right?
Yeah,
One person says pineapples belong on pizza.
sure.
You can play the devil's advocate and say that pineapples don't belong on pizza.
I feel like that's more so a difference in opinion.
Well,
There's not an objective truth there.
there is. Pineapples belong on pizza.
I also like pineapples on pizza.
Right, so it's an objective truth.
For those who hate it, and I hate you for this, pineapples don't go on fucking pizza, okay? They are fruit and mushy, and they shouldn't be on pizza. Have you ever seen a pineapple? Why would it be on pizza?
They are fruit and mushy. Rob, what's a tomato? Is it fruit? Is it mushy? Does it go on a pizza?
I don't know why people say pineapple shouldn't go on.
Yeah.
What did I just say? I don't know why.
You don't know why pineapple should go on people. All right, Rob. I don't know what kinky shit you're into, but hey, I support you. All right, pineapples can go on people. I wouldn't put them in people, but you can put them on
I
people.
wouldn't put them in people.
But if you do that, have fun with it, man. Don't let me judge you.
Make sure that they're consenting.
Yeah, that's important.
That
did not sound like I meant it, but I did. Yes.
Ooh, that was a question mark by Kevin.
No, that was a period, but it sounded bad. Words, I can talk them.
I don't know the primary argument why people are like, ew, pineapple shouldn't go on pizza. Maybe they just don't like pineapple? Seems like a lot more people than I think are allergic to pineapple, and I don't get that.
I mean, I understand part of it. Like, I like pineapple, but I don't like pineapple flavored things.
Oh, I forgot about this.
Yeah. Like, I hate pina coladas. I think they're disgusting.
Well, they're also rather... No, you do like sweet drinks.
Some ones, yeah. I know you don't like it because of coconut, but...
I've grown to like coconut more. It really depends on the coconut. I don't know if I've had a pina colada. Like, I've had pina colada flavored things, which usually suck.
Yes.
I don't know if I've had like an actual pina colada.
Like a homemade...
Yeah, like a decent...
Fair.
You know?
Fair. That pineapple flavor. Like, even like pineapple juice. I don't like pineapple juice.
I like pineapple juice.
But I'll
Tastes
eat.
like pineapple. Do you like canned pineapple or just fresh pineapple?
I like canned pineapple, actually. I do like canned pineapple.
And I know several times I've gotten drinks when we, used to live together. And
We still do. In our hearts.
And you never liked any of the drinks with pineapple flavoring.
Correct. It just, I don't know, it's weird.
What happened to Mountain Dew Kickstarts?
They still have them.
Do they?
Yeah,
Do they still have the pineapple mango
they're at the
flavor?
Cumbies down the road from me.
That was my favorite thing.
I don't know.
Pineapple mango flavor. I know, you wouldn't even look for it. But like,
Right, so I could not tell you.
Stuff was a crack.
But yeah, no, they got them, dude.
Huh.
Is that Kevin right here?
Yes, sir, we're live, bro.
What's up?
Oh, not too much. How you doing?
Fuck, word.
Oh, really?
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I allowed to swear on your little...
Yeah, of course. We've been swearing the whole time.
Oh, okay. That's fantastic.
What? Yeah, that's not... drink of choice tonight is apple cider and whiskey.
It's just whiskey, though.
Interesting.
It's mostly whiskey.
That
That would make it warm.
doesn't know. Strong not warm. It's too.
It's definitely warm. But that's okay. We can agree to disagree.
We can.
We are civil human beings.
No, I mean, I'm right, but yes.
Yeah, I'm right, but yes. I'm glad we can agree on that.
Oh, it's kind of on theme, huh? I said
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
kind of on theme.
So what's the topic of today?
Greeks.
What about Greece?
Devil's advocate, actually.
Yeah, we've been talking about the devil's advocate for a while.
And a whole bunch of different offshoots of it.
And really mostly nonsense, but
All nonsense.
all the time.
But, yeah, like what... So Jared, do you believe that in order to play devil's advocate, you have to at least partially believe what you're arguing?
First off, we need to hammer out the deals in my contract before I say anything.
The guy walks in. He's like, I'm a part of this. Give me money that we definitely aren't making.
No.
But you make a bunch of money, and somehow there are royalties on this. As long as I can get a fair cut, I'm willing to trust you. Now,
Thank you.
when it comes to devil's advocate, also keep in mind I'll fuck both y'all if you try to rob me. Keeping in mind that, no, I don't think you do, because in my opinion, to be devil's advocate, you simply have to believe in your side of the argument, right? For me to play devil's advocate, all I have to do is flip my argument, which isn't that hard. Everything you believe, believe the opposite.
But you just said you have to believe your argument.
Yeah, your argument. Alright, so let's say Hitler was bad, right? Now, to play devil's advocate, all I think is, alright, well, I believe Hitler was an awful person, but flip it. Just make it everything opposite day. Like,
You went the first extreme you could think of.
I don't want to go down this road.
No?
No, I don't want to go down this road.
You sure?
I'm just saying.
I don't want to go down
Think
this
about
road.
it, right? Well, I mean, he was maybe misunderstood, and the world took what he said and ran with it, right? Maybe he wasn't as bad as people make him out to be, but he became bad because of the position he was put in and the way he was kind of thrust forward. So when you think about it, do I think he's awful? Yes.
Absolutely.
But all I sit there and do is just flip the argument.
Right.
Well, okay, so
I don't believe anything I'm saying about him, but
Alright, so this presents two things. For one, I said earlier...
I'm not doing this sober.
Neither are we.
I know.
Sidebar. But not sidebar.
Yeah.
Actually, back on topic. So, if you... Alright, we're getting into it a little bit, I guess. Hitler was a terrible human being.
No, why? We're sticking with this?
Absolutely terrible human being.
Yes.
Like, the worst.
Okay.
And what he did to people is deplorable and unforgivable on so many levels.
Okay.
Well, technically, he simply delegated. He didn't do anything.
What he
All right, here we are.
told other people to do and what they did on his behalf
Fair.
were incredibly deplorable actions. When the Nazi Party was in power, Germany came out of a depression and their economy started booming. Can be seen as a good thing. Still a terrible human being. Not trying to defend him.
See, the problem with playing devil's advocate is this, right?
Yeah.
You can believe in the good of the argument and
Yes.
simply flip the conversation. But to play a good devil's advocate,
You have
there's
to
only
go
one
all
way to do it.
Yeah.
And you have to do it unapologetically
Yeah.
and without remorse for
Yeah.
the people you're arguing. You're playing
So,
devil's advocate.
so I
Right.
think so far there's been kind of 4 modes of devil's advocacy. One is to make a point. You're playing devil's advocate because you're trying to get people to understand something. The second one being you are playing devil's advocate to be a contrarian for the fuck of it.
I hate those.
That's half of what we do here. The third
I'm glad
one,
You hate me, Jer.
the third one I think
Hate
is
sex is the best sex.
Oh. the third one that I think might have been how it started, which I mentioned earlier, is that somebody was presenting an argument, realized that, nobody in this room is agreeing with me. I'm going to say I was playing devil's advocate. You know? I'm just going to say that I didn't believe that this whole time because nobody's happy with what I'm saying.
It's a cop-out.
But
cop
here's the
out.
thing. But here's the
But
thing.
the-
Most people who play devil's advocate start with, "I'm just going to play devil's advocate here." I feel
That's
like
true.
that's a required preface for you to not seem like a douchebag.
Is
No,
that a preface
because-
or is it a cover-up?
Yeah.
I think it's a requirement
No, because we do it all.
for
like,
the cover up.
I mean, like, part of the reason why this discussion started with this topic is because,
Hitler.
but no, because we do it all the time.
Broader.
Because we do it all the time anyway, and we're never going to preface it with playing devil's advocate.
Right. But that's just how we converse.
Yeah, you
With
just
one another.
be shitheads
Yeah.
to each other.
Yeah. And always bring up a counterpoint.
Yeah. Before I lose the thought, the fourth way I think devil's advocacy is used, and I think in order to use in any of the 3 ways that it typically is, which is the 3 I mentioned prior, you have to have knowledge that you're doing it. Okay? Whether you're backtracking with
Really?
it, whether you're doing it for the point of making one, or whether you're doing it just to be contrary. You are recognizing that there is another point of view. And I feel like the fourth one is the accidental devil's advocate, where a majority of people aren't willing to accept that there are other opinions than their own, and they will argue it into the ground. The accidental devil's advocate. And those people get roasted.
I don't think it's accidental.
In order to admit that there's another point of view and talk about it, there's a certain level of intellect required, right? There's a certain level of self-reflection.
Required.
Required.
To realize that there is a perspective other than yours.
Right.
Okay, go on.
Can somebody play devil's advocate without knowing it? Can they just be the contrary opinion because they believe it, and that's what they are? Because a true devil, like, if you take the term for what it is, a devil's advocate is they are advocating for the devil's side. Doesn't mean they know they are. They're just a dick. Aren't they the truest devil's advocate?
I think it's actually impossible to realize, to not realize that there are opinions out there other than your own.
You say that.
No,
But I've watched a lot of things being said over the past couple of years, And people really are not open to other viewpoints.
Sure, they're not open to it. That doesn't mean they don't know they exist.
I guess it's more so they think
Like
that
they
opinion,
realize that another opinion is out there.
Yeah.
But they can be so vehemently against it that it doesn't matter to them. But that's not them not realizing that the other opinion doesn't exist. It's just
they're denying its existence? They're denying its validity.
yes. Because they're so vehement about their own point. It's not an ignorance.
But I feel like what you're arguing right now is that there aren't ignorant people.
No. I'm not arguing that. People are ignorant. Everyone's ignorant.
Okay, yeah. All right.
People are terrible and stupid and gross.
Fair.
Like,
Fucking Robert.
have you seen this motley crew aside from Jerry that's in this room?
I am a fucking sexy ass beast. It is true.
It is true.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, but
No, he admitted it himself. He is an ass beast.
he's an ass beast?
Let him have it. Yes, he is a sexy ass beast.
I am.
Gotcha.
I am.
He admitted it himself.
I ravage asses in a beastly manner without regard for the other person on the other side.
And it's sexy.
It is. It is. Kevin, what are you doing later tonight, by the way?
Whew. Am I going to be a victim of the ass beast?
It depends. Do you want to be a victim of the ass beast?
What?
I am consenting.
Okay.
So devil's advocacy, huh? Yeah. Sip drink. But yeah, no, ignorance exists. People are ignorant, but they're not. Someone who is portrayed as ignorant is not unaware of a different perspective. It's in denial. They're choosing not to believe it. They're choosing not to.
I don't know. I guess it's more so the first two kinds of devil's advocacy that we've mentioned and that we use the most. A lot of people. I mean, maybe it's not an amount of ignorance. It's an amount of not willingness to use those tools. Excuse me, right? Because some people don't. I feel like some people aren't willing to have a discussion about an opinion that is not their own. And so, can you use that person as your devil's advocate, regardless of their willingness to do so? I don't know if I liked the way I phrased that, but like,
No, but it opened up a whole new can of worms.
because I've had discussions with people who I mostly agree with what they're saying, but they're not seeing that I'm not directly opposing them, and they yell at me because I am trying to question a prospect of their viewpoint. I'm not trying to be contrary to them, but I'm trying to say, hey, I'm not even arguing what you think I'm arguing, and you're still yelling at me.
Good fuck, Karen.
Yeah. Sounds about right. So are you saying in that instance, the question you're asking is, are you playing the devil's advocate?
Or are they?
Or are they playing the devil's advocate?
Because I feel like...
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go with no. I'm going to go with no. I'm going to go with no.
They are.
'Cause even though that completely contradicts the point I just made about not having to be aware that they're the devil's advocate, I think they do actually have to be aware that they're being the devil's advocate. I think that matters. Because
To be a devil's advocate, you have to be aware. You can't be unaware of being a devil's advocate because you simply believe on the other side of the argument.
right. And if we get to go back to something simple again, staying away from Hitler. If we go back to pineapples on pizza, right?
Yeah.
Go back to that one. Someone can vehemently believe they belong. Someone can vehemently believe they don't belong. And if those two people have a conversation, neither of them is playing the devil's advocate. They're just presenting their own opinions.
But does the devil's advocate have to be an opinion that is had by a small enough demographic where it is not viewed upon as being correct in order to be playing the devil's advocate? So assuming
my
that...
initial thought is no, but I will let you continue.
So like, if the pineapple on pizza thing is fair, but like we said earlier, it's kind of hard for one side to be the devil's advocate because it's completely opinion based, and it's kind of 50-50 in a sense. So if it was more so that 95% of people were like, pineapple deserves to be on pizza, the other 5 were, pineapple does not deserve to be on pizza, and it was at that point decided that they are objectively wrong. I'm not saying they are. I'm saying if that was what was decided,
right?
Are they playing the devil's advocate? Because they are the ones presenting this contrary opinion. Not if they
believe it personally.
But I'm going back to the way the term is phrased, right? Because the devil's advocate is usually used to sit on the side of an opposing view. But I would also...
So they would use it just to save their asses.
Yeah.
If it were a bigger deal. Is kind of what you're getting at there, then?
But like, if you just take the term devil's advocate, I wonder if it just... If there is a devil's advocate, they are literally just preaching the opinion that's not true. Or not believed to be true, or not majority believed upon.
I don't think the numbers matter.
You don't think the numbers matter?
Not...
I do.
Because
here's the reason why. At a certain point, for you to play a devil's advocate, the whole idea behind a devil's advocate is I'm simply presenting the other side of the argument for argument's sake.
Yeah, but so everybody believes...
But even at a 5-on-5, right?
Yeah.
You're no longer presenting the argument for argument's sake, but presenting an argument cohesively to present the argument.
Right.
So
that's at 50-50, it is opinion versus opinion.
That is no longer playing devil's advocate because you're now presenting an entire united front of opposition to the original argument.
Unless you don't believe. Unless you're on side A and arguing side B. Then you're still playing devil's advocate, aren't you?
But if 5 people are playing on side A, arguing for side B,
they're just flipping sides.
Then at that point, it's gone beyond... Because I feel like devil's advocate is a slice of the pie, right? You have a little sliver, a little slice of the pie, right? Well, you had a taste. But when you eat half the pie, you may have tasted and tasted and tasted, but now you've eaten half the pie. You're not tasting anymore, you're eating the pie, right? To play devil's advocate, you can play devil's advocate to a certain point. But once you reach a certain point in that argument where so many people are on one side, you're not tasting that pie anymore. You're arguing the point.
You're not, because in order to be devil's advocate, you have to be arguing a position that is not in the majority. Otherwise, it's not viewed as that.
And which is why there couldn't be a 50-50. And as soon as there's a 51-49, there's a minority opinion.
It gets dicier the closer those numbers are. 50-50 is the most easy split.
No, yeah.
But I would argue even up to, I don't know, for number's sake, 80-20.
I'd say 80-20 is the max you can have before it no longer becomes a double. At 21-79, you're pushing the whole devil's advocate conversation.
Because, yeah, right? I don't know.
I will accept that I was wrong in that the numbers seem to matter. It does make sense to me.
I don't know if it should. And it all depends on who you're arguing with and who's
right.
listening if they care to.
Right.
Stares at recording device.
You know what? Different idea. I'm gonna expand a little bit. Expand a little bit. Well, it's still devil's advocate. Devil's advocacy, but I'm expanding a little more on it. When I'm gonna go back to side A, side B. You're on side A. When side A plays the devil's advocate for side B, but it's only in order to strengthen their own argument, is that a quote-unquote legitimate use of the devil's advocate?
I'm going to say no.
You know what, though? I kind of think lawyers do that a lot, right?
Yeah.
They have a side that they are defending, and they will often switch. They will come from a perspective of the opposition to try and prove their point. Is that playing devil's advocate? Or is that just
Well, they're arguing the opposite perspective.
some sort
so
of diplomacy. So that, I mean,
isn't
I guess
that
that that gets back to, is devil's advocate used to prove a point, or is it just used to be contrary?
Well, they are proving a point because they're proving their initial point. They're not proving
The other point,
right.
hopefully, if they're any good at what they're doing.
Right.
Keep in mind this, though. Going beyond one point, that brings in question, are you being devil's advocate? Because if I am bringing out the opposite side of the argument to prove my point, and I have to use multiple examples to do that, right? Well, a circle is a circle. Well, if I go on the other side, well, is a circle a square? Is a circle a rectangle? Is a circle a triangle? At a certain point, does bringing up too many opposing points create a cohesive argument, which brings you beyond devil advocate status?
I feel like the term devil's advocate is
You
also.
just become full opposite side arguer.
I
guess.
feel like it's not. I feel like there's a difference between debating something and having a devil's advocate, right? Because in order to do what you're describing, you're making an argument, and sometimes you got to present multiple facts. Devil's advocate, I feel like, is usually of the perspective that you're presenting a contrary belief that the majority do not agree with.
That's the bell. So, what happened? What happened there? It got cut off. What happened? Do they even explain where this Jerry character came from? Well, kids, we'll never know. We will never know. Because this is a lost tape. And I bring them to you now as an example of what not to do. Of how not to live your life. Now, I found these tapes buried in my garden, and I was gonna go show my wife, but then I remembered why I was digging in the garden.